everybody. It is Robin Heron, your carnivorous grandma here. I am so excited to be with you live tonight. I am doing my first solo live, meaning that I do not have a guest with me tonight. So I just wanted to come in. I've been kind of holding some topics that I wanted to come in and talk to you guys about. So welcome to Carnivorous Grandma Speaks. I'm so glad that you could be here with me tonight. And I'm very thankful that you have decided to spend this little time with me. This is a passion project for me, and I am just very enthusiastic about my new way of eating. And so I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it tonight. So welcome, everybody. Carper's Carnivore Kitchen says you're going to kill it. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for trying to catch a live with me tonight. So thankful that you're here. Rhonda's here. Hey, Rhonda. It's good to have you here. I'm so thankful that you decided to join me. And then we have Hillary. Hi, Hillary from Australia. That is awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And then we have Jay. Hey, Jay, welcome to the party. I'm so thankful that you're here. He says it's his first time catching me live. So that is awesome. I'm so grateful that you decided to come in and check me out and see what's going on here tonight. So I do have a few things that I want to just cover. I just put together a little bit of a list. Just to introduce myself, my name is Robin. For those of you who don't know me or haven't met me yet, I am on a carnivore way of eating. I'm on my carnivore journey. I started carnivore in February of 2023. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I got here, but I've been on it since February, and just seeing amazing benefits and just awesome sauce, I would call it, that goes along with being on this way of eating. I have not had a vegetable since probably June. I did have a couple of vegetables early on trying to bring things back in, but found that I was having some reaction to them. So I have not had a vegetable since June, and I feel great. I feel awesome. And so how did I get to a carnivore way of eating? I think that's a common question that I get. And Jay, I'll get to your question in a minute, but yes, I've been dieting basically since I was 11. And as a child, I grew up feeling fat. Although I probably wasn't as big as I felt like I was. People used to make comments to me when I was a kid, and I had the sense of being overweight from a very young age, 11 years old. I remember going on a diet and trying to lose some weight. Since then, I have been on many diets, all the diets. So I constantly would gain and lose weight. I was on the yo-yo dieting train. So, and I've done that since the age of 11. In the early 2000s, I tried the Atkins diet, and I found that Atkins induction was actually pretty amazing. And I thought, wow, this is really awesome. This is probably the way that I should be eating. But the Atkins diet had with it a climb up the carb ladder. And I was not able to sustain myself when I began to climb the carb ladder. So I ended up going back to my old way of eating and trying many other diets after that. But I did have a threshold where I wouldn't let myself go above. So I know how to lose weight, that's for sure, because I would keep myself under 200 pounds by going on a diet. So if I get up to like 199, I would go on a diet and then lose weight. And I've lost a lot of weight over the years. I did watch the docs, that a lot of us watch, but particularly Dr. Berry was one that I watched, and I saw him go from keto to carnivore. And he inspired me to try it because I saw that he was thriving on carnivore. He was doing really well. And so I decided to try it in February, and that's my way of eating. I was on it for 30 days when I decided that I would probably not be going back to my old way of eating ever again because I felt so good. I was having a lot of health benefits, like feeling really calm. I had, high anxiety, and and so that calmness that came with being on this way of eating was something that really was amazing to me. I'll give you an example. So I used to be like this. Every time my phone rings, I think something terrible has happened. Um, and and I'm wondering, who died, who got in a car accident, who's in the hospital. And I thought that that was a normal state of being, and it was my normal state of being, but that is actually not a normal state of being. So once I transitioned off of carbohydrates, I started to realize that, oh, I'm not having that same reaction to like a phone call or, a text or whatever. I'm not reacting negatively immediately. Matter of fact, my daughter just called me, and I just answered the phone like a normal person. So I didn't, feel worried or scared that something had happened. So that's how I ended up here on the carnivore way of eating. And there's some other health benefits that I have achieved, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go forward. So I do want to take a moment to just answer Jay's question. So here it is. And certainly, if any of you have any questions for me, you can feel free to put those questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. So Jay wants to know, was it me that had a recipe for carnivore coffee, essentially hot cream and some other ingredients? I think it was you that had an idea for that, but I don't know for sure. So, Jay, I stopped drinking coffee actually probably about a month and a half ago. Before that, I did drink coffee, and I did add sweetener, and I did add cream to that coffee, but I don't think I had an actual recipe that I can recall. Um, I do a hot drink now that I'm off of coffee, and the reason that I stopped drinking coffee was because I'm trying to address anxiety. So so now I just drink. I will have hot water, and then I'll add my MCT oil or butter, tallow, that kinds of things to the coffee to fatten it up. And sometimes I do add cream to that, but I'm not drinking coffee right now. So hopefully that answers your question. The hot drink I drink. Okay, so awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll talk about that. So actually, I got that idea from G Brown from Hanging with the Browns. And that hot drink is it's a hot fatty latte, I guess I would call it. And it's just hot water, and it has butter and tallow, and then I will put my collagen in there, which I do use collagen, unflavored beef collagen, and whip that up with my frother. Sometimes I do put a little cream in there, but I try to keep my cream to a minimum as well, and salt. And it tastes like a soup. So that's a really good hot drink if you're, I like to have a hot drink in the morning, so sometimes I will drink water, hot water, or I will have my fatty drink. Right now, I am using MCT oil. I recently decided to reincorporate that back into my diet. And so I'm adding to my hot water the MCT oil and collagen, and then also maybe a little bit of cream every now and then. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, it's pretty good, Jay. It tastes like soup to me. Some people use bone broth or something like that, and I did do bone broth a couple of times this week because I'd had the turkey carcass from Thanksgiving, and I did make some bone broth out of that. And so I did egg drop soup, which Carnivore Leo Rhonda actually reminded me about how good that is. So that bone broth was excellent with the eggs in it, and it was a great breakfast for me all week. So it did enjoy that. So I want to talk a little bit about anxiety. I did have debilitating anxiety to the point where I could not live a normal life. My anxiety, I've had anxiety when in the past over the years. I had kind of conquered it. Um, and I found it coming back after the whole shutdown and everything. I was at home for 2 years straight. And I found that I was having to the point where I was like not able to drive, particularly on the highways. When I start to get up to speeds or up around 70 to 70 miles an hour, I would start to have a panic attack. So I really wanted to deal with that anxiety through this elimination diet. That's kind of how I thought about it when I started in February, that it would be an elimination diet, and I would eat only meat for 90 days. And I started out with the thought that I would only do 90 days and then I would see, what happened. So that anxiety is something that I'm still dealing with to a degree. So it's a lot better than it was when I first got started. I've gotten on the highway a couple of times, and I feel like I'll know my issue is resolved when I don't hesitate to get on the highway. And so now today I know that it's not fully resolved yet because I'm still having that hesitation, that little bit of anxiety, the anxious feeling about thinking about getting on the highway. This elimination diet is really to address that particular issue. I have a couple of other things as well. But giving up coffee was one of the things that I was willing to do to try to eliminate that anxiety. So I was listening to Dr. Anthony Chafee, and one night, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I guess, maybe month and a half ago, and he mentioned that you should, if you're on sugar-free sweeteners or coffee, you should give both of those things up immediately. And so that day, I decided that I would give the sweetener up. Now, I had tried a 30-day sweetener challenge early on in my carnivore journey on the advice of Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. And I was, once I did it for 30 days, I was like, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it back in. But after I heard Dr. Chafee talking about it and how bad it is for your health, I decided to give that up. About another couple of weeks later, I gave up the coffee. And those are all to address anxiety. The other one that I kind of gave up to a degree to address anxiety is heavy cream. So I gave that up for probably about a month, a little over a month. And then I've incorporated a very little of it back into my lifestyle. But those things I'm doing to address, in particular, anxiety, because though I'm a lot better, I still have some anxiety. So let me say hello. I see some additional people coming in. FR Humphrey, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Missionary Lumpkin, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. You're always so supportive. Thank you so much. And then Mama Cracker. Hi, Mama Cracker. Good evening to you. And so thank you guys so much for coming in. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here with me tonight. So another couple of things that I was addressing with my carnivore way of eating is IBS. And so I had IBS with constipation. My whole, I don't even remember as a kid being constipated, but as an adult, I was always off and on constipated. So that was one thing that I was willing to sacrifice certain things for, is to not have to deal with that constipation. So, and I hope that's not TMI, but we're here, so let's talk about it. So basically, I wanted to see if I could address my gut issue with a proper human diet, and definitely have been able to address my issue with a proper human diet. I think, though, my body is really speaking these days. So where I could not hear my body talking to me about different things and my reactions to those things because of all the different things that were going in. Now that I only have a few things going in, when I try something, my body will immediately tell me, no, you shouldn't be having that. So there were a couple of things that I ate that immediately my IBS did kick up. And that was one of those was Chomps beef sticks. And another one was another kind of sausage type of meat. It was like clean meat, beef only, but some of those ingredients that are in those types of processed meats do not agree with my system. So I had to kick those out as well. Kel is here. Hey, Kel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So, what is the proper human diet? So, I had an interview recently with Dr. Kiltz, and if you want to see that interview is up on my community tab. So, feel free to check that out. One of the questions that he asked me was, so where does keto and carnivore fit in my world, right? And I love keto. I actually was on keto for quite a long time. I was on keto for probably 5 years straight. Um, and then I fell off the wagon and I, kind of rebounded with my weight and all of that kind of thing. So as you know, if you have tried keto and you go back to the standard American diet, you will gain back all of your weight. And I think that's the case with any diet that you go on, is that if you go back to your standard American diet, eating the way that caused you to gain the weight, you're going to gain your weight back. So if weight is the thing that you're trying to address, which some of us are, and some of us are not trying to address our weight, then you know that when you go back to eating the way you used to eat, that you will gain weight. So I was on keto for 5 years, and then I fell off. For the last couple of years, I was trying my best to get back on keto. I kept trying to get back on it, but the carbohydrate cravings were causing me not to be able to really be effective getting back on it. As long as I was on it and strict for those 5 years, I did great, amazing, lost all my weight, felt great. But then, when I went off of it, I gained all my weight back. So those old, yeah, who said this here? F.R. Humphrey, you cannot go back to your old habits. So, but what I found is that I have a carbohydrate addiction. So basically, my philosophy is that the only cure for addiction is abstinence. And so for me, carbohydrates are a problem. So I love keto though. I feel like keto is definitely an awesome way to go. And if you can sustain and maintain your way of eating on keto, I highly recommend it. The next level is ketovore. So more meat, more fatty meat, and a little bit less veg. So definitely ketovore is within the spectrum of a proper human diet. Then we have carnivore, which is basically meat and eggs, all the different kinds of meat, eggs. You can have some cheese. You can have things like heavy cream, those kinds of things in your carnivore diet. And then finally, we have lion, which is just ruminant meat, salt, and water. So there's a spectrum there of a proper human diet. And so while I am carnivore, that doesn't mean that everybody needs to be carnivore. But if carnivore is best for you, I highly recommend it because there's some additional benefits that you get from the carnivore way of eating that I did not get when I was on keto. And that, carnivore zen, that feeling of overall, it's just a generalized feeling of well-being, calmness, and being settled. I never had that before trying carnivore. So that was like a benefit. And then also the IBS didn't clear up when I was on carnivore. My hand eczema, which is also another huge problem that I have, did not clear up on, I'm sorry, on keto. I was not clearing up these issues that I wanted to deal with by doing this elimination diet and going carnivore. So, a proper human diet is a spectrum. And I definitely would not judge anybody for trying keto because keto is amazing and it was amazing for me for 5 years. I just could not sustain myself on it. So let me go and just address Jay's comment here. When I told my doctor about me doing carnivore, she was irate. I told her how it healed my gut and IBS, and her response was, "You didn't have to resort to carnivore. If you had told me you had IBS, I could what could she have done? Let me just see. Hold on. What could have given you a prescription for that? Oh, well, a prescription. I mean, that is that's problematic. I'm going to be nice and say that that is problematic, right? Because you don't need a prescription if you eat a proper human diet. So this happened to my mom also, Jay. Um, my mom went to the doctor recently and told her about that she was on a carnivore diet. And the doctor told her she didn't know what that was, first of all. And then, secondly, she has to have fruits and vegetables and fiber for her gut microbiome. Well, those of us who are in this space know that that is not true. It's just not the truth. But the doctors don't know it yet. And I'm sure she has great intentions. But about fiber, a human body does not need fiber. I was talking with Dr. Kiltz when I interviewed him, and he told me that fiber is like a Brillo pad going through your colon. So we don't need fiber. And our gut microbiome, I was listening to Dr. Anthony Hampton. He was talking about how the gut microbiome changes when you are on a proper human diet. So, the problems that you may have had when you were on a standard American diet, eating all the processed foods and sugars, your gut microbiome is going to change from that when you go on a proper human diet. We do not need fiber. There's no essential carbohydrate. So, they say eat a certain percentage of carbohydrates. I say they, but it's like in the standard American diet world, right? You need a certain amount of carbohydrates and very low fat and so lean meat and and that's it's just not true. It's not the truth of what a human body needs. My understanding, and I'm not a doctor, is that a body can get all of the nutrients that it needs from a fatty meat-based diet. So, and it's working for me. I'm going to go over my labs in a few minutes. Okay, so let's see who else is here. Christy. Hi, Christy. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Christy says, I just discovered you listening to Dr. Kiltz's podcast. I'm so excited to learn more from you. I believe you're doing God's work, teaching the carnivore way of eating. They say the Bible mentions meat over 200 times. Vegetable is less than 30. Keep up the wonderful work you're doing. Thank you so much, Christy. I appreciate you being here. And yes, I do believe that I am doing God's work. I feel a calling to talk about this. And the reason for that is, we are being sold a bill of goods. We basically are not being informed properly. And so my thought is, what if we have another viable option? And we just don't know that it's a viable option. That's my problem here, is that we are being told, to eat more vegetables, and vegetables have these anti-nutrients and toxins in them. and then, eat less fat, and that no cholesterol is bad for you when the body needs cholesterol. So I just want people to know that there is another good, viable option. If you want to be a vegan or a vegetarian, my understanding from talking with the docs is that you can do that, but you need to have supplementation. And then when you get sick, you need to go on a meat-based diet. That's what I hear anyway. So I do believe that I have a calling to talk about this, and I'm definitely willing to talk about it. Want to make sure that people know about this option, and so that's why I'm here talking about it. Kel says carb and sugar addicted here. So Kel, definitely, sugars and carbs are extremely addictive. And honestly, I mean, it's my philosophy. You can wean yourself down, but my personal philosophy is that when you're addicted, you have to abstain. You can't just have a little bit of it thinking that you're going to be able to kick the habit per se, right? So um, I've had many other addictions in my life, and the only way that I've been able to achieve independence from that, deliverance from that, has been to abstain 100%. So I hope you'll decide to just kick the habit. FR Humphrey says I had to let the grains go. Yeah, grains are not necessary for your diet. So that's a good thing that you did that. Jay says my doctor didn't know what it was either. Yeah, I was so surprised that the doctor hadn't even heard of it. That's why I'm over here talking. I'm talking to you guys, and you guys go tell somebody else because we need to know about this. All right. So Mama Cracker wants to know, do I fast? I do fast. So typically, I eat 2 meals a day. That's not really a true fast. But a true fast, according to Dr. Kiltz, would be fasting for 2 to 3 days. So I have done long extended fasts in the past before I even started a carnivore way of eating. My next extended fast will be starting on January 2nd. I plan to do a 7 to 10 days. I'm not sure yet, but at least a 7-day fast. And that is, I want to allow my body to go and, have autophagy. I want to get rid of my bat wings I have here. And so I will fast for 7 to 10 days, but every day, most days, I'll say. I've been eating a lot of breakfast lately because I've just been hungry. But usually I eat only 2 meals a day. So that means after dinner, I will fast until sometime around noon the next day. And I eat dinner early, usually before 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. I'm having dinner. So yeah, so I do fast, and it's very beneficial for me. And I know that, like Dr. Jason Fung, who has a great book out on fasting. I think it's called The Ultimate Guide to Fasting. I read his book, and his book was so incredible on fasting and talking about what happens to the body when fasting, how to fast, all of that kind of thing. So Dr. Jason Fung is a great resource if you're interested in fasting. So you can check him out. Kel says doctors get a cut every time you fill a prescription they write. So they get upset when you do a proper human diet. Yeah, I was saying on my interview with Dr. Kiltz that there is a lot of money to be made from people being sick. And, that's true. That I don't know about the cut they get. I don't know how much money they get or what they get, but I know, there's, to me, it would be better if you can heal your body. If it's a metabolic disease, then why not heal it by metabolic means? And so that's my thinking on it is, why don't we heal ourselves with a proper human diet? I think it's amazing, and people are getting off diabetes, which is supposed to be chronic incurable disease, cancer, supposed to be incurable, and people are healing their bodies with a proper human diet. It's pretty amazing. My Apex Odyssey, welcome. I've been wanting to get a hold of you, so I want to make sure that you get my email address. I want to talk to you and get you over here on Carnivorous Grandma Speaks at some point. So please stick around, and I'll be giving that information. All right. F.R. Humphrey says, eat more veggies and take more pills. Exactly. Missionary Lumpkin says, my grandson Brandon told me today that he's following you. That's amazing. That is amazing. I am happy to hear that. Fantastic. Karen, hey Karen, welcome. Just joined in, but it seems like doctors live under a rock. No disrespect. I think it's true. And I was talking about this with Dr. Tony Hampton because my daughter is a physician's assistant. She's a family practice PA. She's amazing. But one of the things that she has done is that she has taken some training in metabolic health and diet. That is something that a lot of doctors need to do. Dr. Tony Hampton is the metabolic doc, and he's getting people off of all kinds of diseases through a proper human diet. But yeah, I don't know how they cannot have heard of it. That is crazy. All right. Mama Cracker says, I made it to 21 hours and was so hungry. Yeah, fasting is a muscle. And so the more you exercise the fasting muscle, the stronger it will get. So yeah, keep going, Mama Cracker. You'll make it to 22 hours and then 24 hours, and then you'll skip a day of eating, and that will be amazing. Christy wants to know, what personal changes have I seen? So I went over a little bit of this, but I'll review. So the number one thing is I'm dealing with anxiety. So I've seen a real drastic reduction in my high level of anxiety, although it's not all the way gone. I did have an alleviation of my brain fog, but I noticed that after I gave up sweeteners, I felt like my brain fog came back. So I have incorporated MCT oil in order to increase my fat in order to deal with that brain fog, because I know that one of the amazing benefits of the carnivore way of eating is the elimination of brain fog. So that's something that I'm trying to work on. So my dyshydrotic eczema is a lot better, though if I eat something that I shouldn't be eating, it flares up. So you'll see a lot of my videos talking about I had an eczema flare because I ate this or I ate that. Because I'm, trying different things, trying different meat-based products, and basically finding that I'm having an issue with those. So dyshydrotic eczema is one that I'm dealing with. So I can see it because normally on my face, you would see like a dark circle around my mouth, dark circles around my eyes, because it's constantly rubbing it because it itches. It's eczema. So it itches really bad. But I don't have that eczema all over my body the way that I used to have it. But I do have the dyshydrotic eczema. Then IBS with constipation. Also seasonal allergies. Now, this was a one that surprised the heck out of me. I was like, seasonal allergies? So I have been allergic to everything all my life. I'm allergic every season. I have an allergy. And basically I used to take Zyrtec twice a day, almost every single day, but I did take one Zyrtec pill at least every day at a minimum. And this year, I would go through those huge Costco bottles of Zyrtec in like a couple of months, 3 months or something, they would be gone. So I haven't even had to buy any this year. It's been so shocking. I could not believe that. And, I did some gardening and stuff outside this year. I didn't have any issues with my allergies. So that was shocking. Those are the main things that I think I can think of right now. I did have some hypertension trying to start up on me. My hypertension, I did cure that with a keto diet. So if you go on keto, and your blood pressure is going to go down. If you have high blood pressure, you'll be wanting to get off of your high blood pressure medication. So that's pretty amazing. All right. So let's see. What else do we have? Karen says she could do an evening to morning fast, but not a 3 or more day fast. The first time I did it, it was very hard. Let me just grab a drink of water. The first time I did my extended fast, it was hard. I'm interested to see because I haven't done an extended fast since I've been on carnivore. I've been eating. Um, if I'm hungry, I eat because that's the way this diet is designed. You eat when you're hungry. So I haven't been really fasting for extended periods of time. So I'm very interested to see how difficult it will be to fast for a longer fast at the beginning of the year. But we do a spiritual fast at my church. And so it's a 21-day fast. I doubt if I'll do the whole 21 days, but I'll do at least 7. So that should be good. FR Humphrey says, if you eliminate the cause, healing can happen. Absolutely. That's what's happening in my body is that, I'm healing. For those of you who are interested, I have lost weight. I've lost about 20 pounds since February. And I think I have more weight to lose, but I'm letting my body just tell me what it wants to weigh. And so I'm letting it take the time, and then we'll see how that goes. All right, my Apex Odyssey says maybe a teeny bit of disrespect. The doctors, they do need to get out from underneath that rock. They really need to. FR Humphrey wants to know, where did my daughter study? She studied at Western Michigan University, and she got her PA, her master's degree, and she's a physician's assistant. She's amazing. She works in an underserved community at a health center, and she's doing God's work too. I love it. So Mama Cracker says, my why is brain fog. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a problem. If you can't focus, you can't think, and it's just really, really hard. And my job is something else. I have to be on my P's and Q's. So I definitely can't afford to have my brain be foggy. Christy says, sweeteners actually aggravated my rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, so that's why I gave them up, because I was like, there's a few things. Of course, the anxiety is one. And then I have like this bone on bone arthritis in my knee. And I was hoping that that would be helped by giving them up. I'm not sure what benefit I have seen from giving up sweeteners, actually, other than my YouTube family likes it a lot. Sorry. My YouTube family likes it. They don't like it when you're eating the wrong foods. And so you guys encourage me to be my best self, and I do appreciate that. So that's awesome. So have I lost inches? I have lost inches. Let me see if I can find the paper on that really quick, because I do have a little paper that I keep that tells me how many inches I have lost. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's see. I haven't measured myself recently, but last time I measured myself, my waist had gone down by like 2 inches. My chest had gone down like 1.5 inches. Hips had gone down a couple of inches. I should measure myself and then give you guys like my results, because this has probably been a couple of months since I've actually looked at those. Hey, Bonnie. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, I want to review my labs. So I'm going to try to present my screen and see if I can show you this. Hold on a second. I'll just present. I'll try to share it. Okay, here it is. All right. So here is my review of my labs. I did do my labs right at the six month mark, and hopefully you guys are seeing this. Um, so here is how they look. My HGB A1C was 5.5, and the reference was 4 to 6. So all my labs looked good. I did put a little star next to the ones that looked like they were above the reference mark. My triglycerides were 52, and the reference was 0 to 149. My cholesterol overall was 216. That one I did highlight it because it was just like a little bit over the reference of 112 to 199. HDL was 69, and it's supposed to be greater than or equal to 40. And then my LDL was 136. They didn't have a reference for that one. My fasting glucose was 94, and that reference was 70 to 99. Bun, which I don't really know what that is, was 13. My reference was 8 to 21. My creatinine was zero point 0.8, and the reference is zero point 0.4 to 1.2. My vitamin D was 137, which was the reference of 30 to 100. So my vitamin D was really good. I have been taking vitamin D, high doses of vitamin D for quite some time. So I was not surprised to see my vitamin D is high. Um, but my labs were excellent. One thing that I couldn't find, I was trying to find in my list was my hemoglobin. Because I've always been anemic, iron deficiency anemic all of my adult life, and I was not anemic this time. So that was shocking. I was so very surprised when I saw that I didn't have any issues with anemia, and I don't need to take iron. But it makes good sense because I eat a lot of red meat, a lot of fatty red meat, and so I feel like that makes a lot of sense. If anybody has questions about that, I just wanted to share it because I've had those for a while and I wanted to make sure that I shared them. I won't get it done again for another year. So I do need to I need to put a notification in my phone and remind myself to take the measurements because I just did the hula hoop challenge for the month of November, and I didn't measure my waist. But my hula hoop is telling me that I'm gonna need to take another link out pretty soon, so that's a good thing. All right, so Christy says, "Carnivore has taught me how to listen to my body. Nothing else before has ever done that." I totally agree with you. I didn't even know what my body was trying to tell me. I thought, I did go to like an acupuncturist and he told me, well, it's candida. I went on a candida diet for quite some time. I mean, it worked great for weight loss, but I was not able to sustain myself on that diet. Even with that diet, I was not able to tell what my body's signals were telling me. So now, I mean, immediately, I went out last night to Black Rock, which is a place where they cook the steak on the 700-degree stone. You cook it yourself, basically. Yeah, you got to work for your food over there. But I had sausage, smoked sausage with that meal. When I got home that night, my hands were itching like crazy. I said, I guess I can't eat smoked sausages. As much as I enjoy them, I probably can't eat them because they either cause my eczema to flare or they cause my IBS to flare. So, I have to just leave the smoked sausages alone, and that's okay. Joshua says, great, amazing results. Thank you, Joshua. Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, wow, that was pretty good, because people are concerned, like, what's it doing to your cholesterol? That's the main thing is like, people are worried about cholesterol. I'm literally not worried about cholesterol at all. But maybe because I don't have a cholesterol problem too. But my cholesterol labs looked great. So I was very happy about that. So as far as the hula hooping went, I think I missed 4 days. And I was hula hooping about I started at 5 minutes, and then I went up, and I was up to about 10 minutes one way because it's like a hoop that goes around your waist. Maybe I can grab it and show it to you guys. Yeah, let me grab it. Yeah, so this is how it looks, and it has a weight that goes around. So when you spin it, the weight goes around your waist. So I would do like 10 minutes on one direction and then 10 minutes the other direction. So I'm up to like 20 minutes. So that's pretty good. And I do feel like my waist is slimming down. So that is a pretty good thing. Um, I I'm trying to think, I'll make sure that I put a link to this hula hoop in the description of this video. So you get a chance to, if you want to check it out on Amazon, you can do that. I think you should get a hoop. Definitely. It's so easy. And I do it, I do my hula hooping while I'm watching my YouTubers that I love to watch. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Missionary Lumpkin says she goes to church with me and look great about 10 years younger. Yeah, thank you so much. That's awesome. So, FR Humphrey says I cut out smoked sausage for a while. Yeah, I think I can't eat it. It must be something, one of the preservatives or whatever they're putting in there that really does not agree with me. So, let's see. Do we have any other questions? If you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I want to just talk a little bit about my channel. If you guys are new to my channel, you'll see that the kind of things that I am doing are I do a lot of what I eat in a day. Particularly, I'm doing a lot of shorts that shows what I had to eat today or yesterday, depending on when I can get to it. I do carnivorous grandma cooks videos where I show how I'm making some kind of a dish. I'm getting ready to post one probably tomorrow about some chicken soup that I made to show you guys how I made my chicken broth with just chicken. And I added some onions and mushrooms to it because I was giving it to my family members who have been sick. And then I do Carnivorous Grandma Speaks, which is where I've been doing interviews. This is my first time going live solo. So I held this space open for myself to be able to talk with you guys just one-on-one. But usually I'll be interviewing someone. Most of the time I have been interviewing someone. I've been interviewing a lot of carnivores. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to interview a lot of the doctors that are out here talking about the proper human diet. So far I have interviewed Dr. Tony Hampton. I interviewed Dr. Barry and Nisha. That was amazing. I was so proud to be able to have them on. And then I've also interviewed Dr. Kiltz, and Dr. Kiltz interviewed me. That was pretty awesome. And Dr. Tony interviewed me. And so that was pretty awesome. I do have Dr. Lisa Wiedemann coming up in January. So if you haven't checked out Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, actually, Dr. Lisa is the first person who told me, when I say me, I mean all of us, that we need to give up those sweeteners. And like I said, I tried it for 30 days and then quit. But yeah, so I'm still off of sweeteners and I'm still off of coffee. So those are the kinds of things that I'm doing on my channel. I'm doing the challenges, some of the challenges that folks are doing. So in October, I did a sea lion diet, and that was just ruminant meat, which is like cow, lamb. I wish I could have found some goat because I would have eaten that. That would have been delicious. And then also seafood like shrimp and, fish and stuff like that. So I did that for a month. I don't think that I will ever do that again. I did not love it. I did not love it, but it's a great thing to challenge yourself sometimes. In the month of November, I did the plank challenge and the hula hoop challenge. And for the month of December, I'm doing a hula hoop challenge. And also I am trying to increase my fat. So that's one of the things that I'm really focusing on for the month of December is increasing the fat. So, like I said, I'm trying MCT oil for that. And then also, of course, I use a lot of tallow and butter and stuff like that to increase my fat. I feel like my emotional state is not where I would like it to be. So, for that, I'm going to add fat and see if that addresses that concern for me. If you want to come on Carnivorous Grandma Speaks, you can email me. And my email address is, and I'll try to put a banner up. Maybe I'll just put a quick banner up here with it. Let me, not that. Let's see here. I'll put it up up here like this. All right, saving. Let's see if that will go. There it is. That's my email address. Robin with a Y dot Heron, Herron at hotmail.com. So if you're interested in coming on, being a guest on Carnivorous Grandma Speaks, oh yes, Carnivorous Grandma Speaks Women of Wisdom series. I almost forgot about that one. On the Women of Wisdom series, we talk with women who are doing a proper human diet. So they may be doing carnivore, ketovore, keto, but what I believe is that, a wise woman builds her house. That's a scripture that says that. A wise woman builds her house. So that's what we're doing when we, as women, choose to do a proper human diet. We build our house and we don't tear our house down by eating all of the things that are tearing our bodies apart. So, the Women of Wisdom series is also available for you if you want to come and be on that show. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been taking you shopping with me. I've been going to Costco like a crazy amount lately. So, doing the grocery hauls and shop with me. I did a cleaning video where I cleaned my oven because if you're a carnivore, then you know about carnivore grease. And yeah, we get a lot of grease when we are on carnivore. So, yeah, so that's fun. All right. So Chrissy says there could be sugar in the smoked sausage. That's very true. And there probably was. And that's probably the thing that's getting me is I cannot eat sugar. Sugar is it's my nemesis. I cannot have it because it flares up my eczema and causes me all kinds of havoc. So yeah, as a matter of fact, last weekend, last Saturday was my mom's birthday, and I cut the cake. I didn't even eat any cake. All I did was cut it. And my hands flared up so bad, and it's been bad all week long. So I can't even touch sugar. It's bad. FR Humphrey says, I haven't done keto carnivore yet, but I'm considering it. That's awesome. Yeah, just do your research. Study up on it, see if it is something that you can do. And then also just begin reducing your carbohydrates. Cut out everything that's white sugar, white flour, white rice, all of those kinds of things. And that is going to be beneficial just doing that if you haven't done that already. But yeah, I say do your research, study up on it, and see if it is the diet for you. Karen says the sweeteners still have me. I know. If it wouldn't have been just for one night, I was laying in my bed trying to like watch Dr. Chafee while I was going to sleep. And here he comes talking about you have to give that up right now. So I did. Yes, beef tallow is amazing. And I do make my own. I'm almost out of one container of it. So I'm getting ready to do a video on how I make my beef tallow. My stepdad gives me the trimmings off of brisket, and then I can render my tallow down from that. I also bought a quarter cow, and with that came a lot of suet, so I will be rendering that down as well. FR Humphrey says, I need to figure out what to make with all the beef fat. You can make lotion, you can make soap, I'm hearing. Yeah. Laura from at Carnivore, Eat to Your Health with Carnivore is coming in the month of December, and she's going to talk about all the things that she's done. She's amazing. She's a prepper. While I'm talking about Laura, I will mention we do have a show on Monday nights. It's called Meaty Mondays with the Fierce Felines, and it's at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time every Monday night. And on that show, I'm with G Brown from Hanging with the Browns, Rhonda at Carnivore Leo, Laura at Eat to Your Health with Carnivore, and Rebecca from at Carnivore Family. It is awesome. We are having a great time, and it's a very, very good show. We just have a lot of fun, talk about a lot of challenges that we're facing on our carnivore diet, the benefits that we've had, things that can make it easier for people to do. So come and join us on Monday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. Okay. So, Fr. Humphrey, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you eat mostly meat. Primarily meat-based diet is ideal. All right, just one more thing I want to say, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate you all being here. So you can find me, in addition to being on YouTube, I am also on Instagram at Carnivorous Grandma. I'm also on Facebook at Robin Heron. I don't think I've put Carnivorous Grandma there yet, but at Robin Heron. And then I'm also on TikTok, and I do post up some of my videos on TikTok as well. And then I'm also at Carnivorous Grandma on TikTok. You guys, this has been great. I am so thankful to each and every one of you that stopped by to be here for this video. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. And it would be so awesome if you would like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here.